This is the first time we've actually had to wait in line to get into the train platform. So, I don't know. It's a busy day. It's nice. Look at all the palm trees. Electric train. It's one of those where you get a ticket, have an assigned seat, but you just get on and sit wherever. I have no idea what all these other people are waiting for. Wow. I don't know what that was. Bridge.
Speciale Campania Express. Le partenze dal binario 2 in treno speciale Campania Express. Special train Campania Express, 142. Different ticket.
Special express train that makes every stop and then gets delayed for 40 minutes. Love the express. Okay.
You can also speak to the
Seventh BC founded. Pompeii. So Pompeii was covered under ash from Mount Vesuvius eruptions around 79 AD, and it lay buried for 17 centuries until around in the late 1700s they found it and they started to do archaeological excavation of it. And here we are today. We go check out it.
we have another volcano. We have a pretty active volcano.
Okay, here we are. So, I want to show you at this point an important thing. The original street.
They used lava for the roads and volcanic material for the building and the walls. That's to tie up the animals. Modern day parking. The ones with the grooves are shops. They had sliding doors. And without the grooves were the houses. And the house was usually in the middle of two shops. And the owner of the house rented the shops out to freed slaves.
I have a look. This is something different.
Marble decorations in the streets. And the pieces of marble actually reflect the moonlight, so they're like little lights in the street that show you the way. This is the Basilica.
Main church, but we are not in Christian time. We are still in Roman time. This was the courthouse, the law court, the place where justice and business were administered. But the Basilica of Pompeii was complete.
So the bricks were how they repaired stuff after the earthquake in '62, but before the eruption in '79. And then they covered it in plaster, thin layer of plaster, and then they painted it. So that was the quick fix. the restoration, ancient restorations. Wherever you see bricks, it's an ancient restoration. We're in the Forum, and you have a beautiful view of Mount Vesuvius.
Do you see? This is the main square, and we have the amazing view of the volcano, the big volcano on the left. And you remember that Hungarians didn't know that Mount Vesuvius was a volcano. They believed it was just a big mountain because they saw another mountain with a different shape. Do you see the little mountain on the right? This is Monte Somma. Monte Somma on the right and Vesuvius on the left. Before the eruption were one mountain with a pointed shape, higher, bigger than this. The explosion in 79 destroyed the middle part of the volcano, and the deposit of the volcanic material on the left formed the core of Mount Vesuvius that we can see now. So they saw another mountain. And we know it because they left it in a house of Pompeii, like a picture of Mount Vesuvius before the eruption. And they
Travestine, not as expensive as marble, but the original floor, and then this is the original volcanic ash. $20,000 people lived here, 66 hectares big. And every public building had 2 floors, but the volcanic ash crushed them. Very rich owner. House was decorated with mosaics.
Que se vea ella, mami. Tiene que bajar lo que es. Venga, yo le digo que me toma, can you take me a picture? Hello?
There's 40 fountains in Pompeii. There was an aqueduct system, but the pipes were made of lead. So a lot of crazy people from lead poisoning.
The reason why is that
symbol of fertility.
Yeah, and what does it lead to?
The brothel.
Points in the direction of the brothel. So this is the 5th Avenue. These are all shops. This is not where they had the restaurants. They kept this section very clean and pristine, and also it was used for religious processions to come down because it's such a nice street. Going into the bathhouse.
be careful because it's very slippery, the mountain. Oh, we are lucky. That side is a long line, so I feel this one. Very flexible. Concerning the explanation of the bathroom, I will ask you because I see that it's only...
Was the gym where they practice different sports. Boxing, fight, they use those for the world.
What are we going to see? Are you seeing this area?
But in 1863, an archaeologist, Giuseppe Fiorelli, was digging a layer of ash, very solid, and through a hole from the top, he saw that underneath, in the ground, there was a big hole, a cavity with the skeleton inside. He understood immediately that the hole was the negative trace left by the body decomposed, like a mold in the ground. He decided to fill with a liquid plaster the mold, and when it dried, he obtained this, the exact shape of the victim at the moment of the death, with so many details and with that we can understand everything about these people, not only the death, but also their lives. In fact, if you come on this other side, I want to show you that, of course, this woman died suffocated by the ash. Do you see she tried to and you can see.
Because I know the yes, okay, exactly. Follow me.
Original ceiling, very rare. Most of it collapsed from the ash. This is the changing room.
We don't have the decoration, but another important thing. So we are very lucky. Do you see underneath these elements, the bricks? This is the original heating system invented by Romans. Helical calcium, because the floor was raised by many pillars, the so-called suspensure, because the hot air and steam circulated underneath, but also between the walls. Do you see the little space between the tiles? It means that all the room in the heated section was the temperature in which also came
That's nice.
Celsius degrees.
Heated floors.
Reached not only the floor but also the walls. And bedroom, I know we don't have the decoration, also the ceiling is new because this bathhouse in 79 was under reconstruction. So they had other 3 bathhouses in Pompeii and they didn't use it in 79. But we know the decoration that they used in the ceiling. Do you see the plaster on the wall with many groups, a little part of the original decoration? This plaster and the groups in the ceiling were used to slide the water drops produced by the condensation. So the water drops couldn't fall on the heads of the people here, but on the both sides, just because of the grooves. Look at this were used because of 2 important reasons. One of them still today, the water and the dirt. Still today, trust me, during the rainy days, the streets of Pompeii become...
So now we're in the second part of Pompeii where shops and restaurants were. Pizzeria.
Because yes, you're right, because in Naples we have still today the original, the same for the pizza. Pizzeria? Oh, yeah.
Pizzeria. Yeah.
Pizzeria? No, my girl.
No?
No. Because one ingredient is missing in 79. Cheese. They had the cheese.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Why? Of course, because they came from America.
Thank you, America. Thank you so much. Now, yes, I know, crazy. Now we have the best pizza and tomatoes here. I have a big problem. Very big. With the one ingredient. Do you see it? I want to destroy the video. I hate it so much. Because it looks like
Private house?
Con la formule c'est un peu fait. Je demande de côté pour
the exhibitions. Never. Now you can understand the feeling, but I cannot. But look at this. This is the entrance of
Shop door, house door, plaster cast of them. So that big basin is to collect urine because they used urine to wash the clothes because it had ammonia, and also they used it to whiten their teeth. And then there was a tax on it, so urine was money. Don't piss away the money.
In every thermopole, in every restaurant, you can see a measuring counter like this, decorated with the original marble, and also these big holes.
It's like an ancient McDonald's, the fast food.
Located inside the measuring.
We're heading into the third part, which is where houses for politicians and actually freed slaves are. And this is a hill of the original volcanic material. It's very unstable, so it's covered up. but there's nothing under it that's been excavated yet because there's not started yet.
They didn't know that this material was toxic, so they used it for the water system. But we had a big surprise 5 years ago. We studied the skeletons of the victims of Pompeii. We discovered that they were not poisoned by the lead pipes. The pipes of Pompeii had a layer of calcium inside. The water had a lot of calcium, so it protected the pipes. They were poisoned by another substance, antimony, produced by the pollution of the water during the volcanic activity. So they died in Pompeii because of the water, but not because of the pipes. And you can see them removed from the sidewalk by Pompeians, not by the archaeologists, because the city had a big problem. A few days or a few weeks before the eruption, the fountains didn't have water in Pompeii. The aqueduct was broken. So they tried to fix the water system. And we know that they didn't have enough time because inside we found the lapilli, the tiny stones, very soft, the volcanic material. So probably because of this, they left the city before the eruption. And we have only 1,000 victims. They decided to leave before because they didn't have it. We don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's like this?
Yeah.
I mean, I could think.
Conozco que están comiendo ahí arriba, hacían todas las alturas de la ciudad. Lo único que les falta es
Ja, wahrscheinlich der Einfachheit.
Not just in this. In the atrium, they had, remember this, that you could collect the rainwater from the city. But when we had another big system underneath. Do you see the place? And also the bucket, to take the bucket. This before the aqueduct. After the aqueduct, they had the running water, so it became a simple decoration. But in the atrium, that was the public part of the house, not the private, we have the bedrooms. These three bedrooms. You see or just to keep warm the house when it was cold, especially in the winter. And the house was very cold because the door was always open to the street. But because of this, at the entrance, in this little room, you can see the room for the slave, the security guards, who had to control the people. Stairs up. A little shrine dedicated to the Lapi, the Roman gods who protected the house.
It's a shrine for gods to protect the house.
But when they needed privacy, because you can imagine that it was not completely open, do you see the doors? They were used to
200 BC.
In fact, the tableau was also used to close the atrium to separate the atrium from the Peri means around, and stilum means comes. So he used the space around the columns for walking, to discuss with friends about political issues. Very good life. But maybe you see the plants, the garden. This is the same garden that Quinto Pompeo had 2000 years ago. Do you remember the plaster cast? We use it also for the roots of the plants, so we can study the shape of the roots, and we can put in every garden of Pompeii the same plants in the same position that they had before the eruption. It is a very, very fun. There is an archaeological But my group, this is not another bedroom. This is a dining room. They ate lying on the beds. Very lazy people, I know. They ate lying on the beds, the food cutted by the slaves in the kitchen. They didn't use a fork or knife, only small spoons for the garum. You remember the delicious fish sauce? Yes, very good. So you can imagine the 3 beds around the wall, a table in the middle with the pieces and pots. But the decoration of this room is amazing. Look at the colors. Here you can see all the most expensive colors used in Roman time. Red, green and blue. But what is the most expensive?
Gold.
Blue. Because the blue was obtained from lapis lazuli, a precious stone found in Afghanistan. As I told you, the red is expensive, but they had different reds in Pompeii.
Private bathhouse.
He tried to hide the treasure. Good job, we found it. Very well preserved.
And they found the family's treasure here too. Gold, silver.
We have a niche.
Little shrine for the dead people of the family.
The last entrance. Do you see the floor? On the floor you can see all these things, but something is missing. What? We have the stones, the mosaic. It means that this side of the house was under restoration. They didn't have enough time to put the new mosaic because of the eruption. You can see another man. Do you see him? He was probably a witness. He wrote tragedies. So we wanted to show that he knew the comedies and tragedies. Because this was a really just the tools for the introductions. But you can imagine the papyrus.
Don't confuse with what they call the
Private library for papyrus. That's why there's holes in the walls.
The technique in elastic here was impossible because of the skeletons have been found into the bones.
Here we have another house, not just another layer.
Surprise.
Yes, you see the mosaic.
Whoa. Look at that.
So he covered the walls of the house, he covered everything with a new floor, and he made another dining room. But the summer dining room.
Charred wood. Very few of those left in Pompeii.
After the eruption, they knew that this was a rich house, so probably they wanted to find precious materials. Yes. Do you see the tools for digging? The axes. So probably at the time they reached this point and they died under the weight of the volcanic material that caused this. Yes, so probably there were other people,
See the pickaxe? Mm-hmm. They're trying to get out to this hole.
Oh my god, and the skull through the hole. It's so scary.
Have nice teeth? Good teeth?
There was a second floor also here, but also this the original chariot
Original cart of Pompeii.
on the floor and in the ceiling, you can recognize the inclusion and the conclusion, the opening in the ceiling. While we wait for the other Pompeians.
Era il mappa.
Look at that. In the lower part, very close to the stage, there were the local centers, the buildings of Pompeii. In the middle part, the associations and the liberty, and on the top, it was completely destroyed. So they moved in this other space. And
Gladiator
in fact,
training.
you can see not only the place in the middle where they trained themselves, but also the rooms around the square. They were the cells of these gladiators, because they were prisoners.
Gladiators were prisoners, and these were their cells.
And inside we found the skeletons, the weapons, the graffiti. Also made with the skeleton of a woman. According to an opinion, she was a lover of these gladiators, but of course she tried to...
So this is the brothel. Lupanari means she-wolf, because they made sounds like the wolf to call in the clients.
They were paid about 2 assi. On both sides we can see the rooms and the paintings with the positions. You can imagine that they didn't have privacy, because all these rooms were closed just through a curtain, not curtain doors, not privacy. And the last cell is a toilet for the clients. But do you see the last picture?
What?
There is
Yeah.
a man on the bed, and he's
And it cost about 2 assari, which is gonna get 1 glass of wine, so very cheap activity.
paintings we have only women as prostitutes. In Roman time, they were men and women. Only the clients were men. Just men, not rich people, not politicians, not local senators, because these buildings were dirty, located in very bad areas of Pompeii. So the sailors, the merchants, the normal people of Pompeii used the lupanari, and not the women. These buildings
Graffiti.
and here you can see also an advice left for the Arabians. This graffiti says Libanis. Libanis is the name of the prostitute, a Greek prostitute. Libanis works for only 2 assi. To say go to Libanis because she's cheap. She's low cost. An advice left for the Arabians.
The graffiti was the trip advisor for the brothels.
Because in Pompeii, Roman time, so for the female,
It's a theatrical mask because the theater only had men, so they had to have women, but they were just masks.
Okay.
Many sidewalks, not in these because they are very
That's
narrow.
the symbol to point that there's a brothel. Lupanari.
The private kitchen and the slaves who cooked for them. They put the fireplace under the arches and they put the meats.
It's a nice private kitchen for somebody who's rich.
Very close to the place where we met, at this point, okay? And we met here, Porta Marina Superiore. We visited together all these areas of Pompeii, okay? The most of the city in the middle. We missed the small part with the amphitheater, number 5, but if you go straight on the right until the end, you will reach the amphitheater. For the people, the plaster cast, we have other people exposed, 13 of them, in this building, 16, Orto dei Fuggiaschi. This is a garden. these people died all together in this place. It is worth it, but very sad. And we have another small area with the blue numbers behind the main square. So the main square on the right with the beautiful houses. I suggest you, if you want, number 11. Okay, it is another new opening of Pompeii, very beautiful. The exit and the toilet, very important thing in this moment. I know. The main exit where we met is there. There is another exit at the amphitheater, but in the modern city of Pompeii. Okay, not so close to the train station where we met. And for the toilet or the white building, yes, I know.
这是小剧院，我说千里有五点，作业又来第一位，这是后台。
So this is what the gladiators lived in. Or kept in because they were actually prisoners.
Yeah.
So when they got out, they just want to fight. Let's fight, Miriam. So you wanna go watch the show?
No.
Okay, let's go. It was a temple to Venus, but it got roughed up in the earthquake of 62 and they didn't finish it and it got buried in the eruption in 79. Alright. How do you feel about the Italian train system, Miriam?
Not in South Italy.
No?
Not a fan.
I have no idea why they haven't modernized the system of doing things. Just a couple of machines, I don't know. It's crazy. Wow, very nice, Miriam.
Like compromise.
Show.
You inside. You inside.
Okay, go. Miriam, you have to fight your way up there.
Stay here, please. Okay, stay here. Just send it.
Tell us about this train, Miriam.
If you don't have a $15 ticket, they will not let you in.